Hey everyone, it's Warriors NRL Fanatics. Welcome back to the YouTube channel. Tonight I've got two very special guests from the Warriors Anonymous podcast, and that is Daniel Varakura. Is that pronounced right? Am I pronouncing that right?
Kia ora, brother.
Good.
Spot on, Christian.
Sure. And Issac Sauce there as well from Warriors Anonymous podcast. It's good to have you guys on. It's been we had you on last year with Jared, but Jared unfortunately can't make it tonight. He's quite busy. So shout out to Gerard. Yeah, HIA. So unfortunately he can't make the match, so can't make the stream. So yeah, good to see you guys both. Hope you're doing well.
Yeah, doing all right. Happy to be here.
Yeah, bro. Good to be back. Thank you for having us.
Awesome. So yeah, what we're going to do is going to review the game, go through that 22-all draw between the One New Zealand Warriors and the Manly Ring Seagulls. What a game that was. In pretty damp conditions over there in Auckland, wet weather conditions there, and you're going to go through the game, give our thoughts as well, and go through some of the key players that stood out, general thoughts on how we thought the game went. So we'll get into it now. So we'll go through the game here. So just generally how it started off with was a try there to Daly Cherry-Evans in that 10th minute there. It was a 6-0 lead to the Manly Seagulls. What were your thoughts there on the start there by the Seagulls there? A pretty solid start, and it looked like we weren't, we weren't really at it at the start of this game. What are you guys' thoughts there?
Me?
you.
Fuck it. I thought, here we go again. I mean, we've been pretty poor against Manly. I think the home record against Manly is pretty woeful. So I thought, here we go. It's just another game against Manly where they beat us at home. It's not the start that you want to have, but turned it around. But I don't know what it is against Manly. They just seem to be a bit of a bogey team for us.
Yeah, I thought I guess both teams had a bit of a tight start, right? Got through their sets early on, and it was first team to break, and it was us. We just had some uncharacteristic errors, and I guess that was due to the weather as well. And it was advantage them. And then obviously I think that was a lovely play. They put Riddell, is it Riddell? Someone threw a massive hole through Shawnee.
Corey Riddell.
Through. Yeah. And then, look, a bit fortuitous, right? Like Turbo comes back in, throws on back, bounces off, misses Wade, and bowls him pretty much, eh? And the one, the only DCE was there to be the spoiler.
Yeah, and look, noticeable things I took out noted into this game was we made 3 errors to start this game. Few handling errors, which weren't great at all. Couple of players that you don't expect to make the mistakes, senior players, but generally that can happen in a game like this. But 3 errors and a couple of penalties conceded there to start this game, and it wasn't ideal for the Warriors at all. And the Seagulls looked pretty on early on. Their mindset and attitude were looking very on, and I thought that the physicality that the Seagulls brought to the table, the way they started this game. What are you guys' thoughts on the Seagulls? But the way they physically took it to the Warriors in the start of this one.
Oh, they've got some pretty big buffers, right? They got a lot of strike on the forward pack, and then they've got a few big boys that come off the bench as well. So, they're always going to be a bit of a challenge up front, and we maybe didn't match them in the first stanza of the game. I thought throughout the course of the game, we sort of came back, probably when our fitness was a bit of a tell. But their forward pack is kind of scary. They've got some pretty powerful players in there. And then, that break from Waddell for that first try off a pretty nice little short ball from Luke Brooks, I think. He's a pretty smart player. He runs pretty good lines.
You talk about a big team. Paseka, Alae, Alakawatu, even just Jakey in the middle holding it down, and Sipley on the bench, even Sharon Woods as well. I mean, they're a big pack, so I think they're always going to be hard to contain at the start as well. But to Isaac's point, I always knew that you concede early on to the sort of front-loaded energy of those big packs. You got to think, can they stick with us as well? Because we're I don't think we're a massive pack. I mean, we've got Adam and Mitch, who I think was outstanding throughout that game, Mitch. But outside of that, we've got I'd say not a small pack, but just a mid-sized pack with little edges as well. I say little edges, but you know what I mean. They're not the Olakuatus of the world. So always felt that Manly could dominate if they had low errors. They could definitely cause us problems, which they did.
Yep, and I just popping into the chat, see a bit of a comment here, so we'll just read it here. So Sean's saying here that Turbo's a big unit too. He is, yeah, he is quite.
All the Turbo Burbos and Gerbos are, the Travojeviches are.
Yep,
they're large men. They're very large men.
Yeah, and it was the first 20 minutes there that the Warriors' completion rate was sitting at 68%, and Manly were like at 90% early on. Then Manly got their second try of the game, and it was in the 23rd minute there, and it was a kick from the winger there, and Tommy Talau, and that Daly Cherry Evans DCE, he grabs his second try of the game, and Manly were up to a 12-0 lead at this point, and everyone in the stadium was probably shocked and surprised with the way Manly started. But going into this game, I thought Manly were going to really take it to the Warriors. I thought, I was confident in the boys, but I felt like it was going to be a really close and competitive match. What are you guys' thoughts on the try, the second try that Manly scored? It was just great work play there.
I think I got the tries mixed up. I called the Corey Waddell break on the first try. There was a second try, was it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They went down the edge. Same
edge. That's why I'm getting confused here. Yeah. Same edge.
All the tries went down that edge.
Yeah. Which is saying something, right? What does it say about the defense? Maybe they game planned pretty well to attack that left edge or the right edge defense, and came up trumps with them a number of times. So it was pretty smart kick from Talau as well.
Yeah, I mean, and also I think they looked like it was a tackle 4 shift, perhaps, or possibly tackle 5. So Dallin did drop back, so they already had numbers out wide, and Kola is lightning, right? AKA Moneta Sauce, Isaac's brother. They look alike, but you get him early ball, right, and he was out, and we talked a little bit about this, perhaps, with the fact that our back five do a lot of work, so they front load a lot of energy in attack from a carries point of view. But you noticed on the situation like that, there wasn't a lot of energy getting back. There was hardly anyone. Well, they were chasing the Jackson Fords and the Kurt Capewells, but they just didn't have enough gas to allow skin them. And then it was just DC in the picture, and I think Turbo was second. So really felt like they kind of pulled our pants down on that one.
Yeah, our defence has been pretty strong to start the season. I think we're ranked one of the top 3 defensive sides to kickstart the season. We've only conceded a couple of tries a game, but it was just the defence just didn't look great early on, and Manly tear us apart there, and they exposed us pretty much. And it was pretty much at that point 12-0, and I thought Manly were actually on top of the game. They were really controlling the game pretty well, and the Warriors just didn't have a answer really regards to what Manly were doing. What were you guys' thoughts here on that? Do you agree, or do you feel like the way Manly started this game, they've just complete control and the Warriors couldn't, take any initiative? What are you guys' thoughts?
No, I think you just said it. It helps with a completion rate of 68% from the Warriors. You're just giving Manly ball to play around with, so it makes it pretty tough to implement our game plan when we don't have the ball and we're having to tackle. I think at halftime maybe we had 30 more tackles than them going into the break, and it takes a lot of juice out of the tank, right? So it was not a surprise that Manly got to play their implement their game plan when they had more of the ball.
Yeah, pretty much. Hey, we just didn't defend our errors as well, and we made so many errors in critical times and locations of the field. So we just put ourselves under pressure, and I think it all kind of worked itself out at the end. But at that point in time, they were perfect, really, weren't they, Manly? And I think that's what the league is all about now. Like, if one team stays pretty perfect, the other team is dropping ball left, right, and centre, you're going to be in trouble.
Yep, and hello to Greg here. Greg saying hi from New Zealand. Hello to Greg. Hope you're doing well yourself. And so basically it's 12-0 there, and then they scored another try. It was I think they got out the lead up to 16-0 in the 27th minute, and it was Tommy Talau and Tommy Travoy, which actually played a massive part in this try. He was a key in this one there, they tried to Manly there. Well, what do you guys foresee on that try? Because I thought that was just pretty simple, straightforward stuff by the Seagulls, especially Tommy making a bit of an impact on that side.
So it's just going to be a long night. My pre-game prediction was, I think, 26-20 to the Warriors. I was like it's going to take a big effort to get up to 26-20 as I predicted. So I got that wrong. But again, Manly, they just seem to have this against the Warriors, and I thought again it was going to be one of those games. It was going to be a long night.
Yeah, and it came off the back again of a era which you can't fault Dallin. He comes back at 150 clicks an hour right into the defensive line, but in wet weather conditions. And that's what I said on our podcast last night. Like, errors are going to happen in wet conditions. You got to roll with it. But he just they muscled up, gave him a massive shot. Right, the ball came flying out, and then we're back on our heels for that set of 6. And just looking at that try, look, they worked it well. The old Harbour Bridge pass over the top, managed to see Talau, which Dallin obviously kind of came in for, but I think he got his own back a bit later on, didn't he?
Yeah, and Sean Smith said, just mentioning it's getting to common knowledge that we jam in on the left side. Most teams haven't managed to exploit it, but Manly have figured it out. So, just what you said there, just on that side of the field. But 16-0, and then the Warriors finally get some joy, and there's a try there to Jazz Tevaga, and that was the first points of the game for the Warriors. A great bit of lead-up play there, and it was a short ball pass there from Tohu Harris. What do you guys thought? So finally we get ourselves a try on the board there with 3 minutes remaining till halftime. What do you guys foresee on that try?
We talked about this on the Warriors Anonymous podcast as well, about it was a timely injection to get Jazz on the field. It felt like the energy levels were definitely up, and he deserved to try like that. It was just a pity to see him come off the field with that hamstring injury. Hamstring, right? Yeah, hamstring injury, another one. But it was timely try, just well worked as well. You're kind of used to seeing the Warriors this year scoring tries like that up the middle, just through really good interchange between the forwards. So beautiful pass from Tohu.
Yeah, and I reckon that we'd gone out to the edges a bit earlier than that, and our timing was off, right? Like Jackson Ford, he dropped a couple, but we talked about it yesterday. I just didn't think those passes were on, just slightly outside, and they were off like plays. There's not a lot of momentum, so they like their line speed was up, so there's hardly any time. But what I loved about the fact is when that's not working that well, I think it is best to go back to Tohu and just stay a little bit closer. Tohu just to manipulate a little bit more, because it's just a nice little tip on, wasn't it, really? But the deception was there, and it was great to see Jazz burst in, because it was pretty doom and gloom prior to that.
Yeah, and just popping into the chat, you got Jose. How's it going, Jose? Hope you're doing well. He's saying here that Manu Vatuvai gave me tickets on Saturday out of the blue. Wish we got to sing the team victory song next time. Well, that's awesome. Man.
Where's our free tickets?
Free tickets, eh?
I'll take some here. Come on, Manu.
Yeah, you get used to singing the team song, don't we? We've been winning more than we do lose, but not quite today.
It was a joy being able to sing the team victory song when I was at the Knights game. So it was an awesome experience seeing that for the very first time at the stadium. So I really enjoyed that. But maybe next time, Jose. Maybe next time. Hopefully next time in the next game, home game. So
going to halftime.
Yeah, so going into halftime it was 16 to 6. Actually, going into halftime it was 16-10. We scored another try there to Dallin. He got an intercept try from Luke Brooks, really. And what do you guys thought? Going into halftime, it felt like at 16 to 10, it was a lot better of a feeling than being down 16-0 or something like that. But what do you guys thought going into halftime? Because I felt that those two tries may have given us a bit of a momentum, a kick boost going into the second half. What are your thoughts?
100%. Yeah. I mean, it made going into halftime a little bit more cheerful. And that's the double-edged sword with doing the jam defense on the right-hand side defense. That's the kicker right there. You could see Dallin was up in their line and Luke Brooks hadn't noticed, and that's how he managed to snaffle that intercept. But, it's a double-edged sword. It could go either way. If the pass goes over him, you just never know. But that's how they're going to play.
Yeah, it's good to see Dallin hunting, right? And look, you just got to look for those reads, and just back that if you do miss, there's enough space for a chance to come across and cover. And we were jokingly talking about an old 90s video game called Street Fighter, and Dallin looked beautiful with his uppercut, twirl, and run to the line. So definitely got us back in the game, right? Was looking pretty poor before that.
Yeah, and going into just reading this comment here. So the good news mainly played amazing. We played really badly for a huge part of the game, and we managed a draw. Silver lining if there was one. And Jacko, hello to Jacko here. He's saying kia ora, folks. Kia ora, Jacko. Hope you're doing well. But the second half, I was pretty much hoping that those two tries would give us a bit of a confidence boost going into the second half, and we can kickstart the second half well. We had a few penalties, 6 agains, but Manly actually struck first in that second half. They got to try to Ben Trebojevic here, and it was a try there, 22 points to 10. What were your thoughts on that try? Do you think we defended that? We could have done better with the way we defended that try for that Manly try there, or what do you guys reckon?
Oh, fuck. Dan picked this one apart in our podcast. I mean, it was just a beautiful play, right, Dan?
Yeah, yep.
It was beautiful. I mean, I looked at it and could we have done anything? And I look at it again and not really. So I mean, Ben Trebojevic scores the try, and if you look closely, you had
Olakau'atu on the inside.
Olakau'atu on the inside. He could have gone to them
running the sweep.
And then, Turbo running the sweep. So Roger was literally in no man's land. So, I mean, they just executed that play to an absolute T. 3 options. And very similar to how we set shape up like that as well. So you're always looking to, for blame in those situations of, but I just, the timing of the runs inside the sweep just made it impossible. So, you couldn't really have any complaints. The only complaints you could have had is that we obviously piggybacked them down the field in that situation. So again, errors, a couple of errors led to being in that position.
And it was a beautiful face ball from DCE as well. Like he had any number of options. And I mean, if he hit Olakau'atu, it probably would have been a try.
Probably.
But, he hits Ben Trebojevic cleanly on the outside. Beautiful face ball. That's tough to do in wet weather conditions. Like, it's class.
Yep, and Cherry was having a great game in itself. First half as well. He started the second half pretty well as well. And at that point it was 22 points to 10, and I was a bit worried, a bit concerned. I know it was a long way to go in that second half, but like Manly just looked complete out of control, and bearing those two tries, and I think Manly would have been disappointed letting in those two tries before the break. I felt that. We could have, if we didn't let them score that early try, I mean, could have just given us a bit of a boost. But 22 to 10 down, and we really needed a bit of a spark there, the Warriors, and they got it through Mitchell Barnett. And Mitchell Barnett was having a hell of a game, actually. I thought his first half was great, and start of the second half is providing plenty of impact. And the offload and the tackle of Tamari Martin, Sean Johnson, Eshto, the man himself, he runs away to score, and it's 22 points to 14. But then again, a misconversion from Sean Johnson. Yeah, which was really unlike him, and I was hoping that kick didn't come back to bite us. That missed kick come back to bite us at the end of the game. What are you guys' thoughts there on that try there? It was a brilliant bit of play there by us there.
Took the words right out of our mouth in regards to come back and bite us in the ass. I was just like, hey, how the hell did we miss that kick? It was just like, what, 5 minutes?
I don't know if that did, because I've got a theory about that. We'll talk about that after.
Dan's got a really good theory. But nice to see Shaun Johnson doing Shaun Johnson things. I mean, that was seeing him run like that maybe 10 years ago. You'd probably see it every week. You just got so used to it, and now he's the man manager. The elder statesman, but he's still got it, eh?
Oh, beautiful! Like, it was just an open field again. He'd give a bit of a show and go. He got through the line. He put a big right on Turbo as well. And I don't think he actually believed his luck that he had sold that well. And then I think he was looking to dish it off. And I don't know about you guys, but I was kind of thinking, those calves, please don't ping. Please don't ping. Don't tweak a calf. Give that ball to someone else. And he's still just got enough pace, right, just to see it through. So definitely winding back the clock. And just goes to show, like, he's still got a bit of a running threat, so he's going to keep a few defense lines in check. But there is a bit of a theory going around that his brother many years ago actually was on a Shaunie's brother, one of his brothers was on some kind of podcast or some kind of video segment, and he's talked about the fact that every time Shawnee has a good try play, does something amazing, especially back in the day, he would pretty much always miss the kick the next up. There's some kind of theory that he'd obviously just had a really good play and was thinking about it and not focusing on the kick. But I don't think it came back to bite us in the ass, because I've got another theory about that too, but we'll talk about that later anyway.
But that kick, distracted by his own brilliance.
Yes. It was brilliant.
Yeah. And I've got just reading some of the comments, and there's quite a few comments on the Shaun Johnson penalty, which we'll get to real soon. Talk about that moment there. Jazz is saying, Jazz here saying Kia ora whānau. Good to see you, Jazz.
Good to
see you, Jazz, there in the chat. Guys, make sure you do like the live stream as well. Don't forget to click the thumbs up button as well. And if you are a new viewer to the channel, make sure you subscribe to the channel as well, and go and follow Warriors Anonymous podcast as well on the YouTube. And you guys are pretty much everywhere. You guys have got a Facebook group as well, so join their Facebook group as well there. So so we get to 1 minute remaining. There's plenty of time left in this game. The Warriors are still well in it at 22-14. But with a minute remaining, the Warriors got to try to Dallin Watini-Zelezniak. There's only a couple of seconds remaining. Dallin Watini-Zelezniak, classic DWZ scores there. And it's 22 points to 20 with the final play. And now this play here. So this is the big moment here in this game. And it was Shaun Johnson trying to slot a 2-point field goal. And then on the full-time siren there, the referees had a look at the contact on Shaun Johnson, and they said it was a penalty. So what are you guys' thoughts? What are your thoughts on the penalty? Because there's quite a few debates on the social medias and the platforms out there that, it was a lot of people saying that Shaun dived. It shouldn't have been a penalty. What are you guys' thoughts on it? Because we saw with Freddie Lussick in the New South Wales Cup, that a couple of weeks ago, he got suspended for something similar, but Lachlan Ilias, he got injured. So what are you guys' thoughts there on that moment there, where Shaun Johnson got the penalty? I believe it's a penalty any day of the week. I'm going to be a biased Warriors fan, but I'm going to say it as it is. It was a penalty. What are you guys' thoughts there on that?
Again, we were talking about this on the podcast just the other day, that Freddie Lussick did us a massive favor inadvertently by getting suspended for 4 weeks, by setting the standard about this, the charge down and protecting the kicker. The lay of the land is that that's a penalty these days, and it is what it is. The refs are looking out for it, and player protection is paramount. It's a penalty. We took it.
Yeah, every day, mate. Penalty all the time. And I think the key thing really is not you can't stop charge downs, is that you can't go to the leg, and actually, why would you go to the leg? The ball is on the end of the foot. You want to make your angle, your run to get the ball, not hit the leg. So, I mean, that's getting a bit technical, but the reality is you can't touch the leg. They protected that part. They don't want to see major injuries. Shawnee, we milked it. Look, everyone's going to go and hold it, right? Because that's what happens in the NRL. You lie down, you hold it, you know that the bunker's going to review it, and then they're going to have a look at it. So clearly, I think he said in a interview it was a cork or something like that. I think he knew if he stayed down a little bit, he'd just get that review, and then he obviously was able to kick that goal. But just going back to the misconversion before, weirdly, I think that I think Manly clocked off. I think Manly thought they had a won with a minute to go or whatever, 2 minutes to go. I think they had it won because they were 8 points clear. And I reckon if they were only 6 points clear, they probably would have defended us a bit stronger as well. Because I just had this feeling that Manly had just, and maybe we did that a few weeks ago against the Melbourne Storm, right? We kind of had felt like we had the game won with 8 points. And it's a psychological thing, 8 points, 2 scores. So they're going to get 2 scores in 2 minutes. Unlikely, and we've seen it in two different games.
And one other point I want to bring up too about the penalty for the charge down is if Shaun Johnson hadn't had milked it, I can imagine people on social media probably coming out the other way saying, "Oh, he should have milked it a bit more." Freddie Lussick got 4 weeks for that. You can't win. I'm sure people out there would have said he should have tried to milk it a little bit more to buy a penalty if he didn't get it.
Yeah, and the NRL is a game where that last year is not a penalty, that in 2 years' time is not a penalty. But when there's something happening around a particular thing, like hip drops were the thing, right? Like everything that looked like a hip drop last year was 10 in the bin. You go back the year before, anything that touched the face was 10 in the bin. Like there's just times in the NRL season where there's a particular officiating thing which they just focus on, and it just so happened to work in our favour.
Yeah, it's just the flavour of the month right now.
Yeah, and people saying Sean dive, which I don't necessarily agree with, but I don't agree with it. I don't agree with people saying he dived and it was a Hollywood, and some of the people were saying that he kicked out one of the Manly players in there. It was like, I was just I don't.
Hey, what are they saying? He kicked a Manly player, so he should be
kicked
penalised.
out a Manly player, like
he didn't.
He should have been penalised.
Yeah,
like that. They say Sean should be penalised for something, but yeah,
dangerous kicking. Oh yeah, cool.
Just reading the comments here. So yeah, Jack is saying it's a penalty all day, and Sean just made sure the rest took notice. And Lussick got 4 weeks for the same offence. And Joey Johns is just salty. Always says he gets smashed. He always gets smashed for kicking the ball, saying it was a terrible call. Yeah, I saw that video there. And Mel's saying agree, it is what it is. The rule is clear. Would have been the same result for any team. I don't think it's fair to blame Shaun Johnson as a clear-cut rule. I absolutely agree with you on that one. And Jose is also saying here, a lot of people calling Shaun Johnson a milker, totally unwarranted in my biased opinion. So which is fair. So look, it's a penalty at the end of the day. It's in the rules, and I don't know what people are questioning the call. I really don't. Just don't understand it.
It's a funny call by Joey Johns, though. I mean, he's one of the most vocal ex-players out there about protection for the halfback and the halves in particular. And then to call that out, it's kind of the pot calling the kettle black, right?
Yeah. So Sean got that penalty there. He got that penalty goal this time. So we're locked up at 22-all, and it's going to Golden Point. Now the first period of Golden Point, 5 minutes. So there was quite a few big talking points on that first period of Golden Point, especially when our defence. I think Webby said this in the post-game press conference, and he mentioned that our defence in the Golden Point, he was very happy with our defence because we didn't give Manly a lot of opportunities at a shot at field goal. What are you guys' thoughts here on that first period of Golden Point? The way we approached it, because we had a number of opportunities. Obviously, we had play there, and the third tackle there, Tohu Harris, he knocked the ball, and we had a chance there. And then the next play, Shaun Johnson tried to go for another field goal, tried to go for another field goal, and it went wide. What are you guys' thoughts there on the first period of Golden Point?
Well, back to that point about Sean Johnson missing one of those field goals. They had a 7 tackle set, Manly, that you would have thought they would have had prime position to get into field goal range, and the Warriors just snuffed them out. They had 7 tackles and they literally went nowhere. So with Webster talking about the defense and how good it was in extra time, 100% true. It just showed the Warriors have still had gas in the tank to play, with the game on the line and in Golden Point. And Manly just couldn't throw any punches.
Yeah, I think we all, and you can't, and Tohu sort of put his hand up for it, but we had that game really, we had that opportunity, and look, tough conditions. He looked battered as well, to be honest. We had a nice little opportunity in that first stanza as well, and also I feel that when it depends how you're traveling, but if you receive the ball away, first priority is to get through your set, really. Not even necessary to have a shot at goal. If you're lucky, you'll have to have a shot at goal after the first set, but we all know if you drop it on tackle 1 or 2 after receiving, you're in a bit of trouble. So we did well just to actually, I think be slightly ahead in that first period.
Yeah, Ben, what are you guys' thoughts there on that second period of Golden Point? What do you reckon there? Look, what are your thoughts on how that all played out?
Back and forth. I think both teams were pretty gassed. I mean, the Warriors looked they had a bit more energy than the Manly team, but they just couldn't get into position in the end. I mean, I think it was a deserving finish to have it as a draw, to be honest. Yeah. I mean, because really, we should have lost that game, but we didn't, so I can take it.
Yeah, what I was super proud of, because I touched on this with our guys, is that in the second half, Rogers' first kick-off, he kicked off in the second half back to them, and he kicked it really short. And I think it was a little bit of a nervous energy, because we all know last thing you want to do is kick it dead. Like, that would be the worst situation in the world, to kick off dead, to give them a penalty. Like, you're pretty much handing them the game. But they actually caught that on like the 25 or something like that. And and Shawnee was blowing up, and I just think, like, the defense there, the guys like led by Mitch Barnett, right? They just went to work, and I think we ended up, stopping them at the 50, maybe the 45, and DC wasn't comfortable having a shot. Well, he might have had a shot, but didn't even make the end goal, right? So, that D was the difference, put us in a position to win that Golden Point. But as Isaac said, look, with a second to go, we weren't even in the conversation.
Yeah, and full time, it actually finished 22-all after two Golden Point periods, and and overall general thoughts. I personally was happy with the draw. I felt like the way we started the game wasn't great, and it could have been a lot worse, but we fought back pretty well in the second half to get it to Golden Point. I was pretty proud of the boys' efforts there to get it to Golden Point, and we didn't we didn't give up. We definitely didn't give up. We definitely probably had some moments where we probably could have executed a bit better in that Golden Point, 2 Golden Point periods, but generally staying, I'm pretty happy with a draw. A draw is better than a loss any day of the week. And we could have ended up losing this game, so we were very fortunate to come back and get a point. And I think both teams deserved a point, the way both teams played. Manly and Warriors both played very good footy there, and both deserved a draw. So, what are you guys' thoughts there? Do you agree with that, or?
Oh yeah, 100%. People got their money's worth with their tickets at the game. Would have been amazing to be at. And yeah, both teams. I think it was a worthy finish for them to both have the draw. It was an awesome game. I was on the edge of my seat watching it. I couldn't believe what had just happened. The highs and lows. I think it's a worthy finish between arguably 2 heavyweights this season, Manly and the Warriors. Yeah,
I mean, after 27 minutes and 13 seconds, you'd have sort of sitting there going 16-0. If someone offered you 1 point, you'd take it. And yeah, definitely, and I wouldn't talk about this, but there was a period, before we were chasing the game and we made so many more errors. We just keep making errors and we just keep shooting ourselves in the foot. We haven't become an offload team, and next thing you know, which I don't mind being an offload team as well, but everyone wasn't on the same page. There was one that chance threw back, hit Wade. He was trying to marshal some troops, and we had CHT jump into lock, which I quite liked as well. But he runs too fast, tries a back ball out the back, hits Mitchie in the shoulder, and it's just like those clunky little things when you're chasing a game. So the fact that we actually got back into contention, great. I personally think we should have won it in Golden Point. We just had the best opportunities to, and that would be the thing that disappoint them, because they finished strongest as well. But as we all say, in the context of that game, with 3 seconds to go, we were gone. So we'll take that 1 point. But good for us Warriors fans to know that your teams can come back, right? Like, we're not dead. We're not dead and buried. We'll come back from anywhere.
Come back from 16-0 against that Manly team is context. That's actually a massive effort to come back after all that, because could have just kept going. Points could have kept flowing for Manly, but the Warriors just hung in, did the Street Fighter chippies there, Dan, and just stuck to their game plan as well.
Yeah, I was just see this comment here. Hosea is saying here, now this talks about changing the Golden Point rules. So
is that just because the Warriors won, or Warriors drew? Sorry, or what? Anytime it's
I reckon it can change. I'm a big fan for it to change. I reckon it should be golden try. You can hit a field goal, but the game can keep going. And if you win, if you end in the 10 minutes and you're up 27-26, you win. But I reckon it should be golden try, because it just goes back to throwing the ball around. And I'm not a fan of having a halftime, because I think the dominance of who is finishing the strongest. Then you get back to halftime, then you got to go kick off again as well. I just think actually, no. I mean, it might be unfair, because whoever you could perceive who kicks off, who receives is, an advantage. But I think, I mean, that game we were grinding them down, and the next thing you know, we had to go kick off to them. It's like, oh.
There's only one thing that would really concern me if you played to whoever scores wins. You know what I mean? Like if they just
try.
Whoever scores a try wins, but how long is that going to take? The only thing I would
10 minutes.
Just 10 minutes? Okay, cool. Because I thought you were saying just keep playing until someone scores.
No. Because I was also thinking, you love to go into Golden Point to win, but you lose, and then sometimes you lose guys with soft tissue issues, Like
that's it, injuries,
knees and calves and injuries because they played too many minutes as well. So I think we all apart from Jazz's injury, I think everyone seemed to be okay. A little bit extra fatigue, but just 10 minutes. You can kick drop goals, and who is winning in the last and by 10 minutes wins if it's just drop goals, but you get a golden try.
Yeah, I like that idea, because if you get a penalty right in front for an infringement, you
still got time to come back.
Yeah.
And just going through the try scorers, and just on also Jazz Tevaga. That was a big, very sad to see that Jazz come off the field with that, hamstring injury, and he's going to be missing for the next couple of weeks. What are you guys' thoughts here on that? Because that was very, very sad to see. Jazz he came on and he scored a try, and then unfortunately just didn't last long. He come to a hamstring injury, so that's a bit gutting, because you got Bunty out. Bunty Afoa, he's missing for the next couple of weeks, and our forwards, a bit of forwards depth is getting a bit tested here. What are you guys' thoughts there on that?
How long's Tevaga out for? Have they announced exactly how long is that? Is this another 8-weeker?
No, they said 4, but we don't know yet. It's still 4, but you never know, really.
Yeah.
So they got to get looked at a bit more. But
gutting.
Yeah, well, could be. They did say it was quite serious, but it seemed to be. I always follow NRL physio, and I think he or they had posted potentially up to 4 weeks. But gutting, really, because he kind of is the spiritual leader, right? Oh, there we go. Jacko's got it, 4 to 6
Thanks,
weeks.
Jacko.
And Jazz has been I don't know, as we talked about the dark days of following the team and creating content, there was always one guy, who would always, put up a fight, play with his heart on the sleeve, and sometimes push the line too much, right? There were just times where he would like smack someone, without the ball, all that kind of stuff. But he kind of calmed that down. But unfortunately, he's just succumbing to a lot of league issues. And look, there's, a couple of people had commented on is that could this be Jazz, right? Could this mean that he doesn't get re-signed because of his durability? And that would be gutting, because, as Dave just said there, not sure if Jazz will be here next season. And I know part of me just goes like he's like the heart and soul of the Warriors, a guy like Jazz. But, we're becoming a big team and it is a business in the end of the day. So it's a tough one, man. We hate to see him out.
Yeah. And we've got Jazz and Murata Niokore also on the sideline as well, and Bunty. So got a few on the sideline at the moment, and Midcalf as well. So got a few out there at the moment. But so the try scorers for this game, Warriors scored 4 tries and Seagulls scored 4. Jazz Tevaga there and Darren Watini-Zalesniak, DWs scored 2, and Sean Johnson with 1. Cherry Evans with 2 tries, and Tommy Talau with 1 with Ben Travojevic as well. Sean Johnson with a 2 out of 4 conversions rate there, and DC Cherry Evans with a 3 out of 4 conversion rate, and penalty goal with Sean Johnson. Now, I just want to go through the game stats as well for this one, and give you guys can have your thoughts on after I've gone through it. So, possession-wise, Warriors 50%, Manly 50%, so pretty even there. Time in possession, 33.2 to the Warriors, and Seagulls 33 minutes and 9 seconds. Completion rate, Warriors 78%. Then Manly Seagulls at 84%. All running meters, the Warriors had 2,208 meters. The Seagulls had 1,935 meters. Post contact, the Warriors 620 to the Seagulls 735. Line breaks, Warriors 4, Seagulls 4. Tackle breaks, Warriors 47 to the Seagulls 39. Average set distance, Warriors 43.31. Manly 43. Kick return meters, 266 for the Warriors. Manly 137. Average play the ball speed, Warriors 3.41 seconds. Manly 3.47 seconds. Offloads, Warriors 10, Manly 8. Forced dropouts, Warriors 1, Seagulls 2. Tackles made, Warriors 439 to the Seagulls 375. And missed tackles, Warriors 39, Seagulls 47. Errors, Warriors 13, Seagulls 10. And penalties conceded, Warriors 4, Seagulls 6. So what do you guys thoughts there on those stats there?
The post-contact meters stat for Manly was quite interesting. 1,900 meters gained throughout the game, but 750-odd post-contact meters. I think we've talked about this before in our podcast, the post-contact meters being a bit of an issue for the Warriors, maybe. Maybe it's because of the Warriors, as Dan's saying, the smaller pack. Maybe post-contact meters is a thing. But it's really interesting there that, almost half of Manly's meters gained was post-contact.
And I think the errors kind of balanced out the errors or the negative play, right? So handling errors 13-10, penalties conceded 14-6, ruck infringements 1-2. So and they had an inside the 10 meters. So actually, it didn't feel like that. It was a balanced error card. I suppose it was so heavy to us at the start that we were just, we were falling over ourselves to, start the game. But it kind of came back, which, I think that stats overall look pretty even, right? Apart from some of those key ones. And you look at those post-contact meters and you look at Olakau'atu and Paseka, I think they had both over sort of 85, 88 per PCM. So just goes to show those big fellas are getting over the line.
Yep. And Dave's saying here, I'm not sure if Zion Manu is ready for first grade. My pick is Kalani going and would expect Tohu to spend some time at prop. So what do you guys thoughts on that comment? Because I think Zion Manu is a very talented player, but what do you guys thoughts there? Would you think he's ready for first grade right now, or would you like to see him debut? Or
I'd like to see him have a go.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they brought Laban on, and Laban had his second game in the first grade. He had a good turnout, in a pretty high pressure cooker sort of situation. And I think the Warriors' mentality at the club now is just next man up. And if Andrew Webster thinks Zion's the next man up, so be it. And I've got 100% faith that he knows what he's doing. And I'd love to see him get a shot. And if he's going to get a shot against the Dragons this week, I mean, Dragons aren't really top 4 material, maybe not even top 8. Be good to give him a shot against those boys.
Yeah, if he's fit and ready to go, absolutely. Jacob Laban, I think, has done a stellar job, in the 2 outings he's had as well. So you don't really think he's kind of feel like with Bunty out, Ali goes into Bunty's role, and then with Ali having to go up, then you've got, you can play Jacob Laban in the middle, right? And actually we had a little bit of a CHT playing in lock as well. And I like that. I just like a player, I think that was probably what was talked about pre-season, is that he'd come back bigger and stronger and maybe play in the middle a little bit. Obviously can play dummy half as well. So utilize them. And obviously Tohu can just, play prop anyway. So he does that when Dylan Walker is available too, which Dylan Walker's still out. I think he's not back till the Titans game.
Yeah, so just going to go through some of the standout players in their stats here. So first I'm going to go through Chance Nickel-Klukstad. Now he played 90 minutes here, 3 hit-ups, 33 all-runs, 346 all-running meters, 89 post-contact, 8 tackle breaks, 1 line break, 2 offloads. He had 1 kick as well, and he had 17 kicking meters there. So what are you guys' thoughts there? Chance Nickel-Klukstad, I thought I thought he was one of our best player on the field there. What do you guys reckon? What are your thoughts there on his performance? Because since being back, he's been been having pretty good games.
Boy's going to have to get some new shoes. He's just run himself out of his shoes. That's what he's done. 320 run meters, eh? He's probably got holes on it. Oh, second game back.
Yeah.
What's second game back? Yeah, second game back. Crazy. It's crazy he ran that many meters. He's probably just epitomizes why Webster thinks he's our fullback, right? If Jazz, I honestly think, we talked about Jazz being the heart and soul. I reckon if Jazz is not there, you've got a tailor-made replacement in CNK as being like the heart and soul of that Warriors team. He is a Warrior through and through, and he plays exactly, how we all feel the Warriors should be. So yeah, CNK, amazing.
33 runs. I mean, that is, the next closest was Tohu at 26, and some of Tohu's runs, and no disrespect, they're not like bullocking runs, right? They're just handles of the ball. So Chance was fantastic, and he just has effort on effort, right? Every time, especially late in the game, we'll take two hit ups in a set, and again, he was trying to push it a bit as well, and we needed to. That one kick, I remember that one kick. I just thought, don't kick it. You've just gone through, and then he tried the little kick. But hey, for me, Chance was just outstanding.
Yeah, he was awesome. And hello to Chris here, saying, "Evening guys, I was at the game, and Manly were really disciplined in that first half. Yeah, we dropped the ball in good attacking areas and didn't defend well. The draw was a great result, and the kids loved it. So yeah, that's actually well summed up there. Well said there.
Great summary, Chris.
Yeah, exactly. And RTS is a better centre option than CNK there, says in one of the chats there. So also just going through another couple of players here. So you got Dillon there. DWZ, he scored 2 tries. Played the full 90 minutes there. 2 hit-ups, 18 all-runs, 205 all-run meters, 38 post-contact, 4 tackle breaks, 1 line break, 1 offload, and 9 tackles. What do you guys reckon there, Dillon? What do you reckon on his performance, like the way he played?
He came back. He came back well. I mean, obviously scoring 2 tries. I think probably the biggest thing is just how good his hair looked when he scored off that intercept try. Mate, if you put that in slow-mo, the Manu wave, and then he swung the hair around to the side and just flipped out there. It's probably the most impressive thing. But no, good game. Good game. They picked on him a little bit on the side of the field, and He put us in position to draw that game by scoring that last try.
Yeah, I mean, he just he came back. They contained him off his running, off his first carry off the kick as well. So they looked after him, and hence his kind of post contact meters went super high. But just a solid outing. And I guess in terms of wingers, no disrespect to Monty, but I guess the ability to finish. You just know with Dallin, he's got the ability to finish in the tight corners as well. So it just gives you a little bit more threat. Even we had that kick across as well, which I'm not sure who someone batted it out, but he was a ever present threat out wide for us.
Yep. And Rocko Berry, he had 90 minutes played there with 10 all runs, 119 all running meters, 42 post contact, 4 tackle breaks, and 25 tackles made. And there's this thing about Rocko Berry this season is his defense has been very on point. I love Rocko Berry. I'm a massive Rocko Berry fan, been a fan of him from day one. So, what do you guys thoughts there on Rocko Berry's start to the season? I think he's been the most improved player for us so far this year. What do you guys reckon there on that one?
It's pretty good for my fantasy team because solid 44, 46 points in the centres. I can't complain about that. Oh, he's just going from strength to strength every week. We love him at the Warriors Anonymous podcast as well. We reckon he's destined for bigger and better things. He just doesn't make many mistakes. So, you don't see him too much, but when you do, it's pretty impressive.
Yeah, I quite like the shape they put out to him as well. When he gets a bit of space too, he's starting to make some really good incisions. He's not kind of beating me, left, right, and center, but he's making some nice darts. Really interesting. I mean, there's a lot of chat around, not perhaps being an aerial threat, and I know he can be an aerial threat. So I guess it all depends on where they are and what the game plan is, because I know Webby really wants them just to pin them down in the corner rather than necessarily go for those high kicks as well. So, but I'd like to see them on the line. Say if they're in the 20 and an attacking kick, I'd love to see Rocko kind of compete. Because I think guys like Rocko and Adam Pompey, they've got some good aerial game as well.
Yeah, and I just got this comment here from Dave. Question here from Dave. He's asking, would you love to see Stacey Blood Rocko in the Kiwis? So what are your thoughts there on that? Because we've got another good outside back there in Joey Manu, who's had a cracking game against the Knights the other night in fullback. What are you guys' thoughts there on that question there?
Where does Joey Manu? He's definitely leaving league, right? Next year he's done and dusted.
French rugby, I think, is the call.
Rugby.
Is it French rugby?
Yeah, French rugby. So I guess he's a pretty handy replacement for Joey Manu. I think that Stacey will probably pick him in the squad anyway, even if he's in a wider sort of trading squad. He'll be in and around that environment. Yeah, but it's probably one for the future.
Depends what Roger does as well. Oh, sorry, bro. I think saying Roger's going to perhaps go to Samoa as well, which is cool. And there's a handy little bloke and playing the centres for the Canberra Raiders.
I was about to say,
who is absolutely flying at the moment. But yeah, why not get him in early?
Yep. I was going to say that about Tomoko as well. He's fucking pocket rocket, eh? He's just a beast, that guy. Yeah.
So RTS, he had 2 hit-ups there and 17 all runs for 201 all running meters, 77 post-contact, 3 tackle breaks, 1 offload, and 16 tackles. What do you guys thoughts here on RTS? Because I thought it was a bit of a mixed night for him. Probably wasn't his best performance, but what do you guys reckon there on RTS? Because he didn't look too happy with the way he played during the game. He had some errors there, some errors you don't often see with RTS. What do you guys thoughts there on Roger?
Proves he's human. he can't do highlight reel things every week. But he made a few mistakes, but so did some other players. He did a few good things in that game, beat a few players and managed to poke his nose through the defensive line. And that was his first game, really settled into the center role.
Yeah.
Really? He's got a long way to go to become the center that he wants to be. He's got the rest of the season, subject to injuries. He's allowed to have a bad game.
Yeah.
Even if it wasn't really a bad game either.
I just thought, to your point, you're probably a little bit off. But one of the things that kind of I was thinking about is that it's probably come back and it was quite a pressure cooker environment, right? Like we were chasing the game, we're at home, it's a big crowd. The conditions aren't fantastic. And no disrespect, but maybe disrespect that he was last year playing across town in front of about 1,500 people for the Auckland Blues. And again, it's just the level of kind of enthusiasm behind the league and the crowd, I think he just got to adjust back to the fact that the NRL is, week in, week out, it's tight as well. So there's no no disrespect. You're not playing Moana Pacifica and you're beating them 65-12 and, you can have a couple of dropsies. Because I also thought that, we talked about the kickoff as well. And that was like a moment of, I understand, and look, I'm not criticizing anyone. I don't play the game and never played the game at that level. But you've got to back your skills, Because I was thinking that could have been the undoing of us. They catch on the 25, they roll down to the 40, 35, and had a drop goal, and because of a poor kick. So, hoping that was just adjusting Roger back to the pressure cooker that is the NRL.
Yep, yeah. And Sean Johnson there, he had one try there, one try assist, 21 all runs, 147 all running meters, 13 post contact, 4 tackle breaks, one line break assists, 1 offload, 13 tackles, 21 kicks, and 655 kicking meters as well. Then Mitchell Barnett, which I thought was the real standout there in the forwards for us in this one. So he had 64. He played 64 minutes. 14 hit-ups, 17 all-runs, 164 all-running meters, 68 post-contact, 1 offload, and 50 tackles made. He made 50 tackles. That's pretty impressive to make that many tackles in a game of footy there. And, most tackles, Wade Egan topped that with 58. 58 tackles. Jackson Ford with 48. Total Harris with 54 tackles and AFB with 47 tackles. So what do you guys reckon there? Just what are your thoughts there on those stats there for the most tackles defence?
Mitch Barnett and Wade Egan must be playing themselves closer to a New South Wales jersey. Surely they must be. Their play has just been phenomenal over the past couple of weeks, particularly Wade Egan. He was just another annoying threat for Manly. How many times did he poke his nose through the line there with a dummy and a feint and just mastering the ruck? Overall, the forwards played really well. A couple of dropsies here and there, but wet weather conditions, pretty tough.
Yeah, I mean, look, a great accolade if they are to get selected, but look, having those guys out would just put a massive dent in our kind of period of origin where we traditionally like to kind of pick up a few extra cheeky wins as well because teams are out. But look, maybe the best case scenario is they get picked in the squad, but they don't play, and then they can come back to play for us. But look, they both deserve that, and I think the way they're playing just highlights how valuable they are for us.
Yep. So now on to the man of the match. So what do you guys reckon? Who are you guys giving your 3, 2, 1? Who's your man of the match for this game?
Ooh. I need some time to think about this, Dan. You go first.
No.
I'm going to go Chance as my 3. I just thought, to the very end and got better in the last 20 minutes was just especially when we needed him. He was awesome. Mitchie Barnett was my 2. Defensively brought that energy in that back end of the game and got us back as well. To be fair, it's very close between those 2. And 1 point Sean, I just thought got us back in the game and wound back the clock with that dazzling try.
I'm going to go with Dan. Pretty much, that's pretty much what I was thinking as well. CNK, Mitch Barnett, and maybe a toss-up between Sean Johnson and Wade Egan. just because Wade Egan was just doing Wayne things. And you're just getting used to seeing it every week now from Wade.
Yeah.
It's just he's one of the most influential players in that team. But yeah, Sean Johnson doing Sean Johnson things as well. I just love seeing him take a step off that right foot. Just magic.
Yeah, and for me, pretty much exact. I've gone 3 to Sean. Actually, I've gone the other way. I've gone 3 to Sean, 2 to Barnett, and 1 to Chance. But I'm going to give Chance my man of the match. Yeah, I thought Chance was our best player on the field. So yeah, I thought he played pretty well. So yeah, that's my 3 to 1 now. So just go through these player ratings rather quickly. And give you guys what your thoughts are on the players that performed on the field there. So just general thoughts on the player and a rating out of 10. So Chance did a good clock start. CNK, I'm going to actually give him a 9 here. So I have to give him a 9 considering I gave him my man of the match. So what do you guys reckon the old Chance there?
Can't argue with that.
Yeah. 9 did well. Yeah,
all
absolutely
good?
The same.
Yeah. Darren Woodtini-Zalesniak, I'm going to actually give Darren here an 8. What do you guys reckon? Do you agree or would you have something else?
Maybe go a 6.5.
Ooh, I'd go 7. Yeah, I'd go 7. The tries and the comeback for the intercept probably bumps up.
Rocko Berry, what do you guys reckon there? Rocko Berry?
Probably a solid 7. It wasn't super threatening, but it didn't make any mistakes and he did his job.
Yeah, I'll go 7. Yeah, 7 for Rocko.
Yep, 7.5 for me. RTS, Roger. I'll probably give him a 7 this week. 7, what do you guys reckon?
I'm going to be a bit harsh. I'm going to give him a 6. He's had better games.
Yeah.
He had a couple of mistakes, again, to Buddha's point, that could have cost us the game. But he'll be better for the experience. But, yeah, not his finest hour.
Yeah, I'd probably go 6 as well because obviously, his benchmark's like an 8 out of 10 every week, so he was probably below his best.
Marcelo Montoya, what do you reckon here? I'll just give him a 6 out of 10. I thought it was pretty solid there. What do you guys reckon?
Yeah, I can agree with the 6.
Yeah, no major mistakes. One thing annoyed me, and then he corrected was like he tried to take them on the outside as well. And it's like, you need to kind of just realize, actually, I need to cut back in as well. So, hey,
when he tried to skin Ben Trebojevic on the outside, he's just like, no, bro. No, please, no.
Yeah,
love Monty though. Love Monty.
Yeah, we love Monty.
Tamari Martin, what do you reckon?
Yeah, quiet game from Tamari, eh?
I can't think of anything that he did wrong. Probably
no. I guess the only challenge, I'd probably go 6.5. Eh? Yeah, he got shut down. Like Wade couldn't quite link up like we did the week before, right? When they were just bursting through the middle. So, but yeah, solid.
Yeah, 6 for me. It was solid there. Sean Johnson, what do you reckon here, Sean Johnson?
Gonna go 8.
Yeah,
he didn't do much wrong either, and he turned it on. Yeah, marshaled the game pretty well.
Yeah, he did 8 for him. It would have been 8.5, but he made Kurt Capewell challenge for that aerial kind of distraction
contest.
And he's like, "You put your arm up," and he was like, "Yeah," and he went out and he put his hand up. Yeah. So he lost for half a point for that.
Yeah, but I've got an 8 there for Sean as well. AFB, Adam Findua-Blake, what do you reckon here? I'm going to say an 8. I'll go an 8. What about you?
I'm going to go 7.
Quite a game, man.
Yeah, not as barnstorming as we're used to seeing it, but again, didn't make many mistakes, didn't drop the ball.
Yeah, I'd go 7. I think there was much talk about the fact that, he might have taken it slightly easy on his brothers at Manly. His Manly brothers, but, like even a 7 from AFB running 200 meters is pretty good.
Yep, and Wade Egan. There's a lot of talk around Wade Egan this season. and whether he's going to be picked for New South Wales. So what do you guys reckon? Yeah, I thought another good game by Wade Egan. Actually, he was in everything, Wade. So I'm probably going to say, I'll go an 8. I'll go an 8 for Wade. What about you guys?
Yep. Happy with that. Happy with an 8.
Yeah.
I'd bump into 8.5 because I just think that tackle effort, they play 90 minutes as well and still be a bit of a threat. He was, he didn't obviously have as many kind of highlight plays as last week, but he was bloody good. And he didn't get injured.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Add an extra half a point to that.
Yeah. And Mitchell Barnett, I did say during the stream that I thought he was our best forward there on the field there. Mitchell Barnett gets an 8 from me. What about you guys?
Ooh,
tough.
9.
Yeah, I'm going 9.
Yeah,
9. Yeah.
Yeah. I think an extra point just because it was when we needed him most.
Yeah.
Everyone was tired. He was flying and phenomenal and just leading the line and just smashing people.
And was it his offload that led to SJ's try?
Yeah, it was.
So he was pushing it too.
Yeah.
Which is good.
Yep. Jackson Ford. Not his greatest game, to be quite honest. Made a few errors there, and it wasn't his best performance. So I'm probably gonna say, hate to say, but I'm gonna give him a 5. Yeah, it wasn't it. Yeah, it wasn't a great performance there by Jacko. So to speak completely honest, what about you guys?
Yeah, pretty close. He was more Ford Fiesta than Ford Ranger this game. So I'm gonna give him a 5 as well.
Yeah, Jacko. I mean, I thought a couple of balls were hard for his drops, but look, he shores up the edge and he was defensively pretty good. So I'll give him a 5.5.
Yep, and Kurt Capewell, what do you guys reckon here, Kurt Capewell? How do you reckon he went?
He gets a 5 for that stupid ass challenge. So he gets a 5. He gets a 5.5. I'll give him a 5.5. He didn't make any mistakes. It's just nice to have him on the field, but that challenge was.
Yeah, I mean they're solid. They've got solid edges, defensively. So, but they had big job to contain their big edges. So 5.5.
Yep. And Tohu Harris, what do you reckon here, Tohu?
7.5? 7.5?
Yeah.
He dropped that ball next time.
Yeah, and he was dirty on himself, but he did look like he was a bit more in the wars this week, as well. So I'd go 7.5.
He's got quite the side ponytail going on as well. There, Tohu. He's got a hell of a side pony. Jesus, and that post game interview is just fucking everywhere. So give him an extra half point for the hair.
Yep. I'll give him a 7 too. To the bench now. So we had so we had CHT. No, CHT. Why did I put CNK? CHT there. I don't know why I put CNK on my notes there. CHT off the bench. Actually, CNK was a fullback. So what do you guys reckon? How do you reckon CHT went? Chanel Harris Tabuda there.
Hard to give him a score because it didn't really do that.
Yeah, didn't get a lot of minutes.
Yeah,
I liked his little effort as well. Provided definitely because he can hit, right? So it gave Tohu a break without having Dylan Walker or Jazz available. So I thought he quite good. But then they need to work on his reps because obviously threw that ball into Mitch that back pass. So you got to kind of. I think it's a bit too eager, So, but great to have cover. Like he just can play pretty much anywhere.
Yep, and Tom Arley as well. Tom Arley, what do you reckon there, Tom Arley?
He had a couple of good runs in there, a couple of good thrusting runs. Made his tackles, stuck. I'll give him a 5.
Yeah, 5. I mean, solid, solid without being spectacular for 22 minutes. That's all he got. So and that's the fact that we've got the fitness in the starting pack.
Yep, and Jazz, unfortunately, can't really rate him at all because he came off pretty early on. So And you got Jacob Laban. How do you reckon Jacob Laban went?
Again, short stint, eh?
Yeah,
Short,
very
short, yeah.
But very good for what he's did, for young man. And what were you commenting on this, Isaac, in our pod? To be left out there in the golden point time. It shows Webby's got some confidence in the young fella, eh? Give him some exposure to the pressure cooker environment. So as a 19-year-old, played 19 minutes, a minute for his age. Yeah, awesome.
Yeah, and I think that's it. So just take one quick comment, and then we're going to wrap it up. So yeah, Dave is saying here, extending Barnett is crucial at the end of the season. Hopefully, he isn't too homesick, and he wants to return to the night. So yeah, what are you guys' thoughts there, just on that one there? You reckon it would be good to keep Barnett for a couple more seasons, or how long would you guys keep him for? Like how long?
Ever.
ever?
Forever, yeah. Forever.
It would be great to keep him as long as we can, especially with the AFB going. I mean, it would suck if we saw both of them leave, right? So it'd be nice to have him. And coincidentally, comes to the Warriors, playing career best form. Is that any coincidence? I don't know. He's probably going to want to stick around too.
Yeah. Keep him as long as you can. And cheeky little question, because I just saw something pop up on his Insta, because I think it's his birthday, 30. Shout out to Mitchie Barnett. But he had a cheeky little photo of one of the Saifiti brothers. And it just got me thinking, could we land a Saifiti? Would a Saifiti be or two? Just probably because this is the next thing everyone's pondering, which is who partners Mitchie next year, and who can we go for? So keep him as long as we can.
Yeah, it'd be nice if Barnett could do some recruiting. His own whole team. I wouldn't mind Saifitis. Yeah, I wouldn't mind.
Yeah, and that just pretty much wraps it up, guys. So just like to thank everyone for watching and tuning in live, whether you're watching it live or you're watching it back later on the next day. I'd also like to thank our two guests there, special guests from the Warriors Anonymous podcast, and Daniel and Isaac. I really appreciate you guys for coming on and giving your time up to have a chat about the game on the weekend. And thanks for coming on.
Cheers, mate. Appreciate the time.
Shot, Christian. Thanks, bro. Love your work.
Appreciate it. Cheers to both of you. And don't forget, you guys, go and check out the Warriors Anonymous podcast. They're on YouTube. They're on all the platforms as well. You can follow them there. Thanks to everyone, like I said, there for watching and tuning in live and interacting your questions and comments down in the chat there. Make sure you don't forget to go like this video. Make sure you click the thumbs up button on this video. And don't forget to subscribe to this YouTube channel as well. And thanks for everyone for watching. And we'll see you all in the next one, up the wires. And thanks for watching. And looking forward to the game this week against the Dragons on Friday night. Cheers, everyone.